Hello friends, I'm Divya and I'm back with another episode of Personalities. This episode is dedicated to Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar. Before I begin, I would like to request you to watch all the foundational videos of Vysh sir available in Hindi and English, right? And you face any difficulty in your UPSC preparation and you want any guidance in your UPSC preparation, you can contact Vysh sir. Subscribe Vysh IS and Vysh Courses channel, right? So we are coming with new episodes and keep supporting us by liking and sharing these videos as much as you can. Thank you so much. So now let's begin. So Pandit Ravi Shankar, right? He was actually born. His name was Rabindra Shankar Chaudhary, sometimes spelled as Rabindra Shankar Chaudhary. He was born on 7th April 1920 and he died on 11th December 2012. He was an Indian sitarist and composer. A sitar virtuoso, he became the world's best known exponent of North Indian classical music in the second half of the 20th century and influenced many musicians in India and throughout the world. He was awarded India's highest civilian award, as I said, Bharat Ratna, in 1999. Now, his early life. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he was born in Banaras, then the capital of eponymous princely state, in a Bengali family as the youngest of seven brothers. His father, Shyam Sankar Chaudhary, was a Middle Temple barrister and scholar from East Bengal, which is now in Bangladesh. At the age of 10, after spending his first decade in Banaras, Shankar went to Paris with dance group of his brother, choreographer Uday Shankar. By the age of 13, he had become a member of the group, accompanied its members on tour, and learned to dance and play various Indian instruments. Now, his training and work in India. His parents had died by the time he returned from the Europe tour, and touring the West had become difficult because of political conflicts that would lead to World War II. He gave up his dancing career in 1938 to go to Meher, right, and study Indian classical music as Alauddin Khan's pupil, living with his family in the traditional Gurukul system. Alauddin Khan, he was a rigorous teacher, and Pandit Ravi Shankar had training on sitar, surbahar, and he learnt ragas and musical styles like Drupad, Dhamar, and Khyal, and was taught techniques of the instruments like Rudraveena, Rovab, Sursingar. He began to perform publicly on sitar in December 1939 and his debut was a Jugalbandi, which is a duet with Ali Akbar Khan. Ali Akbar Khan was a son of Alauddin Khan, who played the string instrument sarod. Beginning in the mid 1950s, he composed the music for the famous Apu trilogy directed by Satyajit Ray. You can see the picture of him here, which became internationally acclaimed. He was music director for several Hindi movies, including Godan and Anuradha. From 1956 to 65, his international performances. V.K. Narayan Menon, director of All India Radio Delhi, introduced the Western violinist Yehudi Menuhin to Shankar during Menuhin's first visit to India in 1952. Pandit Ravi Shankar had performed as part of a cultural delegation in the Soviet Union in 1954 and Menuhin invited him in 1955 to perform in New York for a demonstration of Indian classical music sponsored by the Ford Foundation. Pandit Ravi Shankar heard about the positive response from Khan, which Khan received, and resigned from All India Radio in 1956 to tour the United Kingdom, Germany, and the United States. He played for smaller audiences and educate them about Indian music, incorporating ragas from the South Indian Carnatic music in his performances, and recorded his first LP album Three Ragas in London, released in 1956. In 1961, he toured Europe, the United States, and Australia and became the first Indian to compose music for non Indian films. He founded Kinnara School of Music in Mumbai in 1962. Pandit Ravi Shankar won a Grammy Award for Best Chamber Music Performance for West Meets East, a collaboration with Yehudi Menuhin. He opened a western branch of Kinnara School in Los Angeles in May 1967 and published an autobiography, My Music, My Life, in 1968. From 1972 to 2012, his international performances. In November in November and December of 1974, Pandit Ravi Shankar, he co-headlined a North American tour with George Harrison. If you know George Harrison, he was from the famous The Beatles group. So Harrison and Pandit Ravi Shankar and members of the touring band visited the White House on invitation of John Gardner Ford. He was son of then U.S. President Gerald Ford. Now his style and his contributions. He developed a style distinct from that of his contemporaries and incorporated influences from rhythm practices of Carnatic music. His performances began with solo, alap, jor, and jhala, like introduction and performances with pulse and rapid pulse, influenced by the slow and serious Dhrupad genre, followed by a section with tabla accompaniment featuring compositions associated with prevalent Khyal style. He often closed his performances with a piece inspired by the light classical Thumri genre. He has been considered one of the top sitar players of the second half of the 20th century. His interplay with Ala Rakha improved appreciation for tabla playing in Hindustani classical music. He promoted the Jugalbandi, that is the duet concert style, right? And Shankar introduced at least 31 new ragas. The list was actually huge. I have cut down to some, right? Like including Nat Bhairav, Ahir Lalit, Rasiya, Yaman Manj, Gunji Kanhara, Janas Anmodini, Tilak Shyam, Bairagi, etc. He performed his final concert with his daughter Anushka Shankar on 4th November 2012 at the Terrace Theatre in Long Beach, California. On 9th December 2012, he was admitted to Scripps Memorial Hospital in San Diego, California after complaining of breathing difficulties, and he sadly died on 11th December 2012. Now, a huge list of a plethora of awards. So, Indian government honors. The first one is Bharat Ratna, of course, 1999, and then before that he won Padma Vibhushan in 81, Padma Bhushan before that in 1967, Sangeet Natak Academy 1962, Sangeet Natak Academy again fellowship 1975, Kalidas Samman from the government of Madhya Pradesh 1987 to 88, and he also won 5 Grammy Awards. So with this, I wind up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll meet in the next one. Thank you.